Midnight Society has been clear from the get-go that UGC, or user-generated content, is a huge part of DEADROP's future and Midnight Society's vision for the studio as a whole. It's empowering creators to make their own custom modes, and in the future, maps, skins, weapons, all of that. So in this video, I wanted to take a look at some of the other games that do user-generated content. Games like Halo, games like Battlefield, games like Fortnite, to really identify what DEADROP needs to do and what Midnight Society needs to look at and make sure that DEADROP does UGC right. And by that, I mean from a systemic standpoint. So let's start diving into the details. So right off the bat, one thing that I think DEADROP should implement if it wants UGC to be as successful as possible is a server browser. And this is something that the game could benefit from immediately right now. Right now you're not really sure who's queuing for what modes are popular, and we're going to address all those things. And one of those things that I think would help for sure is just a straight up server browser, and I'm using Halo Infinite as an example. It's really easy in Halo Infinite to go to the community tab and just look at what games are being run with what modes and how many players are in each lobby. That's as transparent as possible, and if you're somebody who doesn't know anything about, any of these modes or any of these creators, anybody can open this up and see, okay, there's a lot of people playing this map or this mode, maybe I should check that out. It's not necessarily easy to create a server browser, but it's something that I think would be ideal for DEADROP, and it really helped, the best content be shown as well. Citing Halo again, although there are none on my screen right here, this tags thing can be very important again in helping a new player identify what they're about to play. Or if tags are searchable, even better. Is what they are playing a single player mode, a multiplayer mode, a PvE mode, a PvP mode? Is it a social mode? Is it a competitive mode? All those things to just help people identify what types of game they're about to play. And if they can filter by tag to really see, okay, right now I really want to play competitive mode, or I really want to play a social mode, that's even better. This is an example of more great tags. Here you have heavily asymmetrical health and damage modifiers, asymmetrical vehicle modifiers, kind of telling you this is a wild mode. Again, just one small example of tags really helping tell you what you're about to enter. So here's another small but very important detail about UGC and how players spend their time. Offering full battle pass experience and other, challenges being able to be completed in UGC would be crucial for DEADROP, as it is any game. So taking a look at Battlefield's 2042, this is their server browser. If you notice, a lot of their modes, they say right in them, full XP. So it's obviously telling people, if you play this mode, you're gonna get experience, you're gonna be able to level your character or your guns, get stuff towards your battle pass, because there's a lot of people who completing battle passes and challenges and achievements or whatever, that's important to them. So if you're able to actually offer experience for playing community created modes and maps, that's much more better and a great incentive to play these things when you're trying to decide, well, I want to play this map that this person made that's really cool, but I've only got a week before the battle pass ends and I really want to finish it. That's cool. Do both at the same time. One quick reminder, we're already on the first step in the journey on DEADROP UGC. You can create your own modes with Lua scripting right now, and the community can play those modes with refiner codes. We already do this. There's a Tuesday night DCM night where we play all sorts of different DCMs, DEADROP creator modes, like Shotgun Snipers, like Showdown, the mode we made at Viper UGC, Two in the Barrel, a mode that I made, which is similar to One in the Chamber, but with a double barrel shotgun. And you can do the same. Check it out, and remember, that's only the first step. There's plenty more to come. Like I said, a map editor down the road, custom skins, weapons, the works, a marketplace. We'll get into that in a bit. The next thing is all about getting great game modes attention, helping the best things made in DEADROP by creators get noticed and get pushed to the top, right? Because again, that benefits everybody. Midnight Society's already started this system in theory. I just want to make sure that it continues, and that is whether they call it this featured games, this game mode showcase, which has been in DEADROP since Snapshot 7, or do they do something, do they change it so it's called, like 12 AM's picks or whatever? And this could be, they can do this really in two ways, and you really could do both. You could have this actual game mode showcase, this 12 AM picks kind of idea, but you could also have other modes or a whole separate interface with like what's hot right now, which it shows you the modes that are being played by the most people during a particular period of time or all time. You could filter it. however you want, right? It could change seasonally. It could just be chosen by an algorithm. These are the modes that people are playing this very second. Filter those to the top. Or you could build in a rating system where players get to rate the modes that they play on a scale of whatever, 1 to 5, or the classic, did you enjoy the match that you just played kind of system. However they choose to do it, pushing those modes that the community is really responding to and putting them front and center, I think is going to help make the creators of those modes feel good. It also pushes hypothetically the best, most fun, or the most competitive, the most enjoyable through whatever filter content that you want to the top, to the player base to experience. And as I'm sitting here, I also just realized that we may one day see Dr. Disrespect playing community-created modes on stream, which is going to be incredible. Something else that I think is extremely important, especially on the skin front, right? Because for things like maps and modes, I think there's going to be a quality control check on a lot of that stuff that's basically functional, to make sure that that's, everything just works and functions, period. But I think for stuff like skins, there's going to be, obviously, I don't think everybody's going to be able to create skins, just my personal take. If you create a skin, that doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be able to use that skin in VES mode, for example. That's just my interpretation, because people are going to be creating millions upon millions of skins and in the broad scheme over time, right? And the only game that I can think of that really does this on a grand scale is Counter-Strike, right? Anybody can hypothetically design a skin for Counter-Strike, and there's obviously the Steam Marketplace and the Steam Workshop, which is where I'm going with all this. If there was a community-driven system where people could vote on, hey, we want this skin in the game, or we want this, in Counter-Strike we used to have sprays. I guess we still do, but not the sprays we used to have back in the day, because those were wildly inappropriate. Case in point for how there needs to be quality control systems in games. But I think something like that, even if right through MidnightSociety.com, right, where if you made a skin and maybe you could sell it for use in your own mode or whatever if you want to, but there's obviously gonna have to be some system in place to actually implement these things into VES mode. But I think it's imperative that we have that ability to get skins that the community makes into VES mode, right? That's gonna make those skins, they're gonna be a higher bar of quality. And obviously, we want more people to make higher quality things. We don't want some dude just making some low quality skin and throwing it out there. We don't want a marketplace full of garbage, right? So I don't know, something like a Steam Workshop system where the community could vote on this stuff and help certain skins and certain creators that they like get their stuff actually in the wider marketplace for use in VES mode, not just, DCMs or whatever. I think that could make a lot of sense. Well, I'm not going to get deep into the monetization portion of UGC here. It's important, but I'm not going to get into it because that's such a broad topic, and really that deserves a whole other video. And there's a million different avenues that Midnight Society can go down, but it's very important, obviously, that creators of all kinds get the ability to actually benefit from their content, because in the broad spectrum, Midnight Society themselves benefits from UGC as well, right? So you want to incentivize creators, help them earn revenue, and also a portion of that revenue obviously goes to Midnight Society by having people in the ecosystem. And there's going to be a marketplace, which, as you can imagine, most likely, speculation here, Midnight Society will get a cut of every transaction on that marketplace. For example, if I make a skin and I put it on the marketplace and I sell it for $9.99, you can imagine that Midnight Society is going to get a cut. You get the idea. It benefits everybody. And it's going to bring in creators and artists and designers from various communities and aspects of the world and culture into DEADROP to create things because they stand to benefit, right? And if you make something cool in the DEADROP and existence and Midnight Society ecosystem, that's more exposure for you, potential revenue, everybody wins, right? But anyway, one thing I do want to draw attention to is that on the DEADROP 2024 roadmap, the Epic Game Store logo is here. We're pretty sure that means that DEADROP's going to launch in the Epic Game Store, right? So what does that mean? Well, it does mean one thing. It means, hopefully, maybe, speculating again, that we could see Midnight Society utilize the existing support a creator feature that exists on the Epic Game Store. And that would be interesting because, again, it incentivizes creators to tell their communities, hey, you can use my code if you play Dead Drop, and if you buy the Battle Pass, or if you do X, Y, or Z, that's going to help me out too. So it's going to bring more players into Dead Drop. But it'll be interesting to see in a broader spectrum if Midnight Society uses that existing Epic supporter creator system and implements it somehow into Dead Drop. Like, I know within Fortnite, there's a system, for example, where, you know, once you're a creator of a certain level, you just generate revenue when people play your creations, right? So if you have one that goes viral, you win. You get some money. That's good for everybody. So this is one that I haven't found a direct example of in an existing game, but I've just been thinking of and I think is really important, and that is some mechanism for feedback to the creators of UGC. So for example, I'm part of a team over at Viper UGC. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, by the way. We made Showdown. We're making a 1v1 game called Versus Proving Grounds, and we got some other cool stuff we're going to announce very soon. But anyway, some mechanism for feedback in the game, if possible, even if it's just click a link that takes you to a certain Discord channel or a subreddit or something, or a survey after you play a DCM, an optional survey or something like that, to deliver feedback, because it's easy to get feedback right now at Viper UGC, because our play tests are small, our player base is small. But when Dead Drop goes into that early access period, or when that map creator launches, hopefully in 2025 or whatever, and we're putting out stuff and our stuff's getting played by, you know, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions of people, right? Having some form of data on how people are playing our maps, or which ones of our maps they like, other than just, you know, we have socials and people can give that feedback on our socials. That's part of what we can offer as a team, but also just having those mechanisms in the game, if Midnight Society is able to provide them to help creators really see what the player base is clicking with, would be incredible. All right, that's what I got for you guys. These are the things that I think Dead Drop's UGC needs from a system standpoint, from a community standpoint, to make it future-proof, offer both creators and players the best quality content possible. And I'm confident that if Midnight Society follows the Mayor Reynolds blueprint that I just created right here, then UGC in Dead Drop will be a huge hit. I'm actually confident that it will be, because the team at Midnight Society has been clear from day one. UGC is a big part of their vision, and I just got a feeling that this is not something that's going to be back burner. It's a huge part of Dead Drop's future, and I'd love to hear from you guys what features you think Dead Drop's UGC needs from a systemic standpoint to make sure that it's the best state possible. So that's it for this video. If you want more Dead Drop and Midnight Society content, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you check out all the other stuff. My other YouTube channel. Come join me on Twitch, twitch.tv/Mayor Reynolds. All the ways to support me down in the description, including our Patreon for our next live action Dead Drop production. And we'll see you in the next video. Mayor Reynolds out. This video is sponsored by Fortnite. Support a creator code MAYOR. That's all you got to do is plug MAYOR into your Fortnite or Epic Game Store. Support a creator slot. Whenever you make a purchase, and a portion of that purchase will go towards supporting my content. It costs you nothing. Just plug it in anytime you see support a creator in Fortnite or the Epic Game Store, and it will directly support my channel and help increase the budget for content like our live action Dead Drop short film, Midnight, which you can go watch right now. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate the support. MAYOR in your supporter creator slot. Thanks a lot.